If you searched up supply and demand here on YouTube, I'm sure you found many different ways that you can draw these levels. And if you're getting confused, don't worry, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about supply and demand and how I personally draw it to identify high probability setups. But real quick, as always, if you guys do find value in this video, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. I have over 1,000 free videos teaching you guys on how to trade on this channel. And also I go live every single morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time and give you guys a completely free watch list for the day. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. All right, so before I show you guys how to draw these supply and demand zones, when traders talk about supply and demand, there's two different ways that I've seen them break this down. Some traders will refer to a demand zone just as like a larger area of support. And this isn't how I'm going to be showing you guys how to draw demand, but some traders would look at this and be like, well, we had resistance over here and it went as low as here, and then we had some support here. So this is going to be our quote unquote demand zone. That's just how some traders break it down. And then they'll refer to a supply zone just as like a larger resistance level, but that's not really what a supply and demand zone is. To me, this is just an area of support and an area of resistance. What an actual demand zone is an area where buy orders are left unfilled in the market, and when price comes back down to those previous buy orders, they should get filled and we should see a nice move up. So again, a demand zone is unleft buy orders that we are waiting to be filled. Now a supply zone is unleft sell orders that we are waiting for price to come up, test that area, fill the sell orders, and then make the move down. So now I'm going to show you guys exactly how I draw these levels. Now when it comes to drawing a demand zone, what we want to look for is we want to look for a small red bodied candle before a very large aggressive green candle away from that small bodied red candle. Now you can find these on multiple different time frames. I'll show you guys plenty of different examples because there's been a lot of different supply and demand levels as of recently. So looking at ES right here, we have a small bodied red candle before a very large aggressive move away from that red candle. Now when plotting your demand zones, there's two different ways that people go about plotting these, but this is how I personally do it. Again, you can feel free to experiment with whichever way you prefer. But when I am drawing my demand zone, what I do is I take the low of that red candle to the open of that red candle. What some people do is they'll take the entire candle, so from low to high. Personally, that's just too large of a zone for me, which is why I like to take the low of that candle to the open of that red candle. So looking at ES, this 4-hour demand would be from 5195.5 to 5212. So I would go ahead, I would mark those points, I would cancel the left extension so I know it's right here, and then I'll simply just draw the rectangle, right click on it, edit properties, and extend it to the right, and then I make it this green right here. And just so it's not like this bright, you can go back to edit properties, click color, click more, and then go to HSL and make your transparency whatever you want. We'll just make it 70 for this video. That way it's not as bright. Now, as we can see, this happened this day right here. So 2 days later, price came down and it touched the very top of that ES 4-hour demand zone. And we saw a nice rally to the upside before CPI made us push to the downside. Now, if we break it down to a 5-minute and we go to that day right here, you can see we went right into the zone and then we just spiked right out of it. So that's just one example. Now, if we go to the 30-minute on NQ today, because currently we just bounced out of the demand zone, we can see that we have the same thing. Now, the reason I wanted to show you guys this example is because as we can see here, this green wick is lower than that red wick right there. So if that's the case, what you're going to do is you're actually going to take the low of that green candle, and that's going to be the low of your demand zone. And again, you're going to take it into the open of that red candle. So now in this scenario, your demand zone would be from 18,088 all the way up to 18,125.5. When price is trading in this area, you do not want to look for shorts. You want to be looking for long entries. So you're going to be looking for bullish price action, and you're going to be looking for bullish volume. So now let's just make this 70 or whatever it ends up being. We'll make it 71. And let's break it down to a smaller time frame. Let's break it down to a 5-minute. We can see again, we came right down into the bottom of that zone. and we saw a nice little spike to the upside from around 18,125 all the way up to 18,193, which is going to be about what, a 70 point rally if I just did my math correctly. And you can see that we're trying to bounce it again. So maybe it ends up bouncing here, and that's the low of the day. But again, this is why you need to watch price action. And let's go ahead. Let's see if we can find one more on a higher time frame. There's one over here on the 4 hour that we haven't tested. So, I mean, if we lose this 30-minute demand, really looking at NQ, an area that I would be watching in the future is going to be this 4 hour demand way over here. So again, we can see it's the same thing. We have a green wick that goes lower than the red wick. So we're going to take the low of this green candle right here and the open of this red candle right here. And this is going to be your 4 hour demand zone. So if price were to trade down into 17,618 to 17,750 in the future, I would be looking for a long entry. So that's how you're going to be drawing your demand zones. And if you would like to learn more about my overall day trading strategy, I highly suggest you check out my new book, The New Age of Day Trading, on Amazon. It's around 320 pages, goes over my entire day trading strategy, everything you need to know about support and resistance, Fibonacci retracement, sniper entry, stop loss strategies, the indicators I use, and so much more. So again, if you guys want to check it out, The New Age of Day Trading, officially on Amazon, the link will be down in the description. Of course, my camera wants to die in the middle of the video. But now as far as drawing supply, what we're going to be looking for in supply is we want to find a small green candle before a strong flush to the downside. So as we see right here on the 1 hour time frame for ES, we have this small green candle before a large flush down. And then right here, we have a very small green candle before a large flush down. So now in this scenario, what we're going to do is we are going to mark the high of that green candle and the open of that green candle. This is going to be your supply zone. Some people will take the whole candle, but the way that I draw it is you want to take the open of the green candle to the high of that green candle. Now this is going to be your supply zone. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend this to the right. And what we would look for is for price to come up into this area, make it resistance, and then look for a short entry. Now, again, you can identify these on multiple different time frames. If we go to the 4 hour time frame on ES, we can see that that 1 hour supply zone also has a 4 hour supply zone. So the 4 hour actually starts right here, which is going to be down towards, what is that, 5,300 up to 5,308.5. So we have two supply zones in one area, which is just going to make it a higher probability reject level. Again, on the 4 hour time frame, we have a supply zone here. It's a little larger, just like demand zones. If the red wick is higher than the wick on the green candle, then you're going to take the high of that red wick to the open of that green candle, and that is going to be your supply zone. So this one is just a little larger, from 52.65 up to 52.85. But when price comes up into that, same thing, you're gonna be looking for a reject. Heading back on over to NQ, if we break it down to a 2 hour time frame, first off, you can see that we have 4 hour supply right here that's already marked. But if we go to the 2 hour, we can actually see that there's supply that starts right here on the 2 hour at 18,500. And what happened? Price traded right up into that area, made a resistance, and then flushed back down into demand today. And that's where we're currently bouncing, which we just previously discussed. This 5 minute demand zone right here. So when it comes to drawing your supply and demand zones, again, what you want to look for is a small bodied either red candle for demand or a small bodied green candle for supply. Then from there, what you're looking for is a large aggressive move away from that level, whether to the downside for supply or to the upside for demand. And then from there, you're looking for price to trade into the area. And then you're looking for confirming price action and confirming volume. So if we come down to demand, what you're looking for is bullish price action, bullish volume. So you're looking for long lower wicks with elevated volume telling you that buy orders are getting filled down in this area. Or if we come up into supply, you're looking for price to reject off of that supply zone with bearish price action. So long upper wicks, bearish hammers, bearish engulfings, etc. with elevated volume up towards this level, letting you know that sell orders are getting hit. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up this video on how to identify your supply and demand zones. If you guys would like more videos on this in the future, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.